Elections, trials, schools, vaccine mandates, the infrastructure bill, federal spending, taxes. America's divided seemingly on all of it. On that, podcast host and comedian Adam Carolla has a simple message for us. We need to all come together. He tweeted it right after the Rittenhouse verdict, and it's by no means an easy task. So we decided to ask Adam Carolla himself how to do it. He joins us now. Adam, it's great to see you. This was a simple message, and it's interesting that the Rittenhouse verdict prompted this because a lot happened over the weekend that would apply as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe going into Thanksgiving, where we can all just reflect on things we're thankful for, maybe that'll help. You know, they say when it's hot outside, a lot of people take to the streets. There's a lot of unrest, you know, when the temperature gets above 90 degrees. Maybe we'll have some sort of cooling effect with Thanksgiving, God willing.
Yeah, let's hope. What happened to us, Adam? I mean, I'm trying to think back in my life, and obviously there have been contentious times, but I mean, I guess I watch some of these news stories and think, how did we get so angry?
Well, I think all roads lead to narcissism. The reality is most of the stuff you see on the news has nothing to do with you. Now, what the news does is they try to make it to do with you. If you think about it, no one would watch the news if they just went, well, that's got nothing to do with me. So whether they're talking about shark attacks or racism, their job is to make you feel like you're next. And a lot of people that are narcissistic are buying into this. They're not looking at the statistics as it pertains to shark attacks or racist cops.
How much of it is social media, Adam? And on the media note, I guess the other thing that stands out to me, it's something I've said before, is it become more about affirmation than information. It really has become sort of this outrage bullhorn.
Yeah, I think most people, they're sort of narcissistic and simultaneously scared. They don't want to be pushed out from their tribe. So there's a couple of fringe players. They say stupid things. People want to be validated, but they don't really support those things. So really what we're talking about, it's like the trans community. I don't know what percentage of Americans are in the trans community, but it's very, very small. Yeah. And then there's a much larger percentage of Americans who have to pretend like they're down with the trans community so they can return to their community. And that's really the era we're going along with. It was Black Lives Matter 10 minutes ago. Now it's the trans community. And then just a whole bunch of scared people who want to go back to their jobs and be left alone. So they pretend they're down with these communities. They don't care about those communities. And that's why nothing changes in those communities.
I mean, because George Will was on the other day, Adam, and he said, you know, we all just sort of need to eat a cheese sandwich and relax. I mean, when you think about it, just by virtue of being born in this country, you pretty much hit the lottery for the most part. Now, some have it better than others, but the opportunities and I guess what we have to, in your words, be thankful for are plenty.
I completely concur. When I was a kid, they would say, eat your vegetables, finish your food. There are people in Africa who are starving. And we were like, I don't care about anyone in Africa. I just don't like pimento loaf, or I don't like Salisbury steak. You know, that's who we are. So good luck getting us to appreciate how good we have it compared to the rest of the world.
I got a kick. I read some of the responses to your tweet. I guess, first of all, were you surprised at the kind of response you got? And also, it was expected. Lots of hearts, but then also a lot of good luck. This is never going to happen. How do we get there, Adam?
I think we can all just kind of start in our own backyard, raise responsible kids, good citizens, good neighbors. Like what we're really having a problem with is bad kids that are becoming adults who are doing bad things as adults. Dr. Drew is a good friend of mine. He has triplets. And I always said, we're never going to have to worry about your kids because you stay intact, you raise your kids, you raise responsible citizens. We're not going to have to worry about your kids. If your kids were the only kids that turned into adults and we could all sleep with our front doors unlocked and just a screen door shut on hot days or hot nights because we wouldn't have to worry about it. So We need to do a better job with the kids. We get to the kids after they're adults, and we start talking about rehab and drugs and homelessness and violent crime. But really what we're talking about is a bunch of people that at some point were 7 years old. They're now 27, and they're a problem. We need to get back and raise the kids, and the government's not going to do that, and the schools aren't going to do that, and Head Start's not going to do that. We need the families to do it, and we need the government to be honest about the role that the families play.
Yeah, that's a great point, because we control what we control, and the rest of it, to your point earlier, Adam, is in a lot of ways out of our control. We look at what's happening with politics, especially. You know, to your point, we need to, as a country, come together and realize that, you know, we're looking at $30 trillion in debt, and we all need to sort of look together as to what's in the best interest of the country instead of perhaps what's in the best interest of the party. And I just don't know that that's possible anymore.
Well, also, you know, the whole thing for the Democrats is we're going to give these people money and we're going to lift them out of poverty. If I gave a homeless guy $2,800, I didn't lift him out of poverty. He just has $2,800. I mean, people need to be taught how to lift themselves out of poverty, and we need to help assist in that. But this notion of just spreading money around, getting people out of poverty, it's never worked, it's never going to work, and it can't work.
Well, isn't all of government socialism in a way, Adam?
Yeah, it is. And unfortunately, they spend other people's money and then announce they're heroes.
All right. Well, listen, I enjoyed the tweet and I enjoyed the conversation. Thanks for joining us tonight. Adam Carolla, host of the Adam Carolla Show. It's great to see you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.